So good morning, everyone, to the very first Lime Lake Association Zoom meeting with our lake biologist, Kelsey Freilich.
Hi, guys.
I'm Molly O'Toole. Dean Manikas is on the screen, our president, Ron Remick, our other biologist, and then Kelsey, who we've hired for the summer. So today is Tuesday, July 14th, 2020, and we're recording this session for anyone who isn't able to attend. So Kelsey,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thanks,
Take
Molly.
over. Mhm.
Yeah. So my plan just is to go through a little bit of who I am so you guys know, and then the plans for the summer, and then talk a little bit about swimmer's itch at the end and what I'm trying to do for my own babies and to keep them from getting swimmer's itch. So I'm Kelsey Freilich. I am Ron Reimink's daughter. So dad wave over there. Okay. And so we've been coming, I grew up here. Dad has been doing research since I was a baby on lakes in Leelanau County. And then my parents bought their cottage in 2000. And so we've had this place since then. And so I'm married to my husband, Chris, and we've been married for 5 years. And every summer that we've been married, we have lived and worked in Northern Michigan on Swimmer's Edge. So it all sort of happened at the same time perfectly that we were getting married. Chris and I are both teachers. Dad was looking for some more workers. And so we were like, well, we'll live in Northern Michigan, of course, for the summer. So this is, I think, right, our 6th summer living and working, and it's awesome. So I teach biology. I teach honors and AP biology in St. Joe, Michigan, which is like down the southwest corner, almost to Indiana, but on Lake Michigan. And so I always say, like, we live in the 2 prettiest places in the world. Like, we're in St. Joe, which is on Lake Michigan, and then we're up here in the summer. Like, gosh, we are so spoiled. This state is awesome. So I teach. Chris coaches soccer. We have 2 little girls, a 1-year-old Lainey and 3-year-old Adley. And they are just a blast. Adley loves to be in the lab all the time with me, and she does her little water samples. And I ask her to help me with something. She says, no, Mom, I'm too busy. I've got my own lab work to do. So she's into the science too. We're all into it. And this summer, I'm starting my master's project with Patrick Hannington, we work with Freshwater Solutions, but using qPCR in classrooms and developing curriculum. So it's pretty cool. All to say, I'm just a nerdy biologist who thinks nature is awesome and loves being up here, especially. We sort of have this summer, I have 5 goals as the lake biologist. And I would say one of the most important ones is to do a comprehensive plant survey on our lake. This is something that has never been formally done. And so that involves going out, getting plants, coming back, figuring out what they are. Ultimately, we want to know if we have invasive species like Eurasian water milfoil. And if we were to find that, which we have not yet, but if we were, then part of the next steps of my job would be to bring some options to the table of here's some ways that we could handle this, or other lakes are handling this, what to do. And so that's one of the projects that is, I think, really important this summer to do. Another, which I'm very nerdily excited about, is an algal survey. So we are doing plankton tows through our water, and our water looks so clear, you'd think there's nothing in there. No, we used this plankton tow for 10 minutes, and it literally looked like pea soup. So there is a ton in our water, which is awesome and healthy. But figuring out what algae is in our lake, figuring out a baseline, just collecting that data. We are learning a lot from Rob Karner, does this on Glen Lake as well. And it's interesting to compare what species they have on Glen Lake versus Lime. But he also talked about, he's been doing this for a long time, years and years. And he said, when the invasive zebra mussels came in, it totally changed the algae community. It changed what algae was in the lake. And so I think this is just important. Let's figure out the baseline. Let's figure out what we have, so that if we get some sort of changes, we can ask why. Lisa actually just had emailed and said, we have this green algae. I saw this green algae while I was kayaking on the north side of the lake. That's awesome. We went and found out what it was. And again, just watching what it is. Is it getting worse? Is it staying the same? Because, you know, algae is great. We need it in our lakes. It's the base of the food chain. But if it's too much, well, are nutrients coming in from somewhere? What's going on? And so that's another thing. So we got the plant survey, we have the algal survey. We have a project with Freshwater Solutions for swimmer's itch. And this year we're doing 10 sites. In the past, we've only done 4, but we're collecting water samples on 10 sites for 4 weeks in July. And actually it's every Tuesday morning. My husband, Chris, is out collecting the samples right now since Ron and I are both on a call. And it's pretty cool for a couple reasons. One, we'll see what's happening with swimmer's itch. You know, we've trapped mergansers for the past 5 years on Lime Lake, and our data hasn't shown that it's gotten better. So what's going on? Is it still bad? Is it not? And then the other cool thing is we're also having water samples collected on 5 other lakes on these same mornings. So Tuesday morning. And our goal is to figure out, why was swimmer's itch bad on this morning? Was it sunny, warm, the wind, blah, blah, blah? We're still trying to figure that out. What makes a bad swimmer's itch day versus an okay day? And so by collecting data on 5 different lakes all at the same time, we're hoping to answer some of those questions. And so that's cool that Lime Lake is part of a bigger project as well with that. And so part of my job as lake biologist is to collect those samples. And then our work, at Freshwater Solutions is to run the sample. We also are doing, so that's the third thing of 5. We're also doing enteric bacteria testing. And I see some names on here that I recognize that we're testing at your house. But part of my job involves collecting the samples, that we're collecting the samples, and then we're testing well water versus lake water. We're doing a drone study with that. So looking for enteric bacteria in our water. And then the last thing is, I think it was last year, Dad, you can correct me, or Dean, you might know that, when the other Dean did the drone survey. He flew a drone over our whole shoreline on Lime Lake. And the purpose is to look for what kind of shoreline we have, erosion, that sort of thing. And that data has not been analyzed yet. And so part of my job will be to look and then kind of create this database of what our shoreline looks like. How much is natural, how many break walls we have, those sort of things. Okay. And so again, it's a lot of data collecting. This year, it feels like, to me, a lot of baseline. Let's see where we're at so we can make decisions, educated decisions in the future. And so those are kind of the 5 things. Do you have questions? I was going to talk a little bit more about the swimmer's itch piece with my kids, but are there questions about those 5 things as a lake biologist that I can answer?
I'm just gonna, I'm gonna give you my binders.
Oh, that's right. Oh, and Dean's gonna give me his binders, which sounds interesting.
It was survey data.
Yes.
It was Shoreline Survey data from way back when.
That's right. That's gonna be, and he said I can keep it,
Yeah.
which really exciting.
I can. So Dennis Wyand actually is the drone
right.
person, and he did it in 2018, but then because he had a little glitch or something, he didn't get all the GPS coordinates. He flew again in 2019 for free. So we actually have 2 years of Shoreline Survey. And what we're going to use is Rob Karner has developed a standardized protocol for looking at the footage, and then he's got these different categories of shoreline, and it just wonderful. I think it might be something that the whole state might adopt, to be honest, but we're on the front edge of that. But anyway, that's one thing if there's time that Kelsey's going to look at. and start to catalog all of that. And then the other thing I thought I would do is just show you, if some of you haven't been to where she is doing all the lab work. I'll show you. I'll just do a quick.
Yeah, so that, I mean,
There you
it's just, it's our garage. Thanks, Dad. But you can see on the shelf, the first shelf you showed, that's where we sort of extract the DNA from water samples. We can run qPCR there. So it's actually a pretty high-tech lab, even though it looks just like a garage. It's tricky. So, so this swimmer's itch topic, just a couple more thoughts on that. Like I said, we've paid to trap mergansers for the last 5 years, and we're still getting swimmer's itch. And so the question is, what's happening? Why is that happening? We haven't had a brood of mergansers on the lake for 5 years. Now we have mom plus 4, which we've decided, the board has decided not to trap this year because there hasn't been any improvement. And so really the question is, well, how are we still getting swimmer's itch if it's not mergansers? And there's a couple ways. It could be migrant birds, because we're close to Lake Michigan, we're right on a migrant pathway for mergansers. So they come, they stay for a few days. That's enough to infect snails. It could be the main player. It also could be the different species of swimmer's itch that's cycling. We've actually found several species cycling in our lake, one of which is the new species that we discovered in 2018. People didn't even know that swimmer's itch went through this snail. It's called a Helosoma snail. And we were the first people to find it in our lab. And so we're publishing that data now, but we've shown that Lime Lake has that. And so that's why we're not, I wasn't part of the decision to trap or not trap, but maybe the board can speak to this a little more, but I think that was a driving factor, is there's many species cycling in our lake. Let's not spend our money all in this area. Let's figure out different ways. And so one of the things, my girls swim all the time, and my 3-year-old gets swimmer's itch quite bad. My 1-year-old hasn't shown that she has gotten it yet. And so one of the things we're trying is we have these rash guards, and these are, Dad's, what is it, like $20, $30 for one of these? But it's just this like little long sleeve, it's a rash guard. I think it's for like, I don't know, people wear them, surfing? People my age wear them when they're surfing. I don't know, little kids wear them. And I actually love them for a couple reasons. One, I don't have to put a ton of sunscreen on my kids anymore. So my daughters wear these all the time, even when they're playing in the little kiddie pool in the yard, only because it's so easy to get on and off. And it's just, so we wear them all the time. We don't know scientifically that it prevents swimmer's itch. Adley my 3-year-old has still gotten a few bumps with it on. We're wondering if like water's getting up under it, but it's not near as bad. When she goes swimming without it, she's like covered in swimmer's itch. And so we don't have scientific data yet to prove that. That's next year. We're hoping to like quantify a lot of these prevention methods. But it's enough where it's worth it to put my girls in it. Now, I don't think I could convince a 14-year-old to wear this, but my husband actually did want to wear it. We have an adult-sized one, and he's out sampling this morning, and he was just asking for it because he wanted to wear it under some shorts so that his legs, because he went out sampling last week and got swimmer's itch. So anyways, under some shorts, maybe you could wear it, whatever. So that is one method we're using. We're just trying things. So Dad, you found this Safe C cream. Somebody on like a random overheard in Leelanau County or something had said that they use this and it works. So we just got it on Amazon. It's called Safe Seas. Now, I don't recommend it because Adley, this is what a great mom I am. I put this on one leg of Adley's, and then the other leg I didn't put anything, and then I let her go swimming to see what would happen. And she got swimmer's itch on both legs. So that was one data point. I also put it on one leg and not the other, but I didn't get any swimmer's itch. So
don't call protective services on.
That's right. These are like small scientific experiments. It's fine. I signed a waiver. So anyways, just to let you know that we are looking for other ways that as a riparian, we can control swimmer's itch in our area for our kids. And we're trying stuff. So yeah, that's what we're doing as the Fralix. Dad, do you have anything to add to that?
No, other than I think we're gearing up already for a big initiative next year, in the next couple of years, to really put some science behind. We have some other things that we've done as freshwater solutions that we sort of proof of concept, but we haven't done it. We haven't put them out in the field and then actually collected data to show, that it reduces it by this percent. So we're working towards prevention. We, meaning not just us, but other lakes, are working towards prevention. And there are new ideas, and Kelsey mentioned a couple of them.
Yeah. And Steve just posted in the chat, if you press the little chat button at the bottom, we do have a way to report swimmer's itch now for our lake specifically, and we would urge you to do that. If you are getting swimmer's itch, or not, do we want that? Are we asking, even if you go swimming and don't get swimmer's itch, to report?
Yeah, we really want the knots too, because who knows, it could be that some individuals are much more susceptible. Mm-hmm. And so being able to get the knots as well as the itches, and if we can get some other people trying the rash guards, I mean, that'd be great to get more people trying that, and seeing what their experience is.
Yeah. So Molly is showing the survey. It's really well put together. It's really easy to fill out. So, if you've got people up for a week, if you could just sort of keep track, and then even if it's at the end of the week, just put each day in, how many people swam, did you get swimmer's itch, that sort of thing. That's really helpful to us. One more thing about the rash guards is we have a partnership with, what's this? I don't know the name of this.
Eco Stinger.
Eco Stinger. That's right. Where if we buy these rash guards through our website, so it's freshwatersol.com, freshwater solutions, but just SOL, freshwatersol.com, and then click on the Eco Stinger link. We actually get 20% of the proceeds back to our lake association. And it goes back to us through Freshwater Solutions, and then we're donating that to the lake associations in the area. So it actually is beneficial if you're thinking about getting a rash guard.
Scroll down.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Molly. Scroll down. Keep going. It's right here. Yep. So if you just click here to order the rash guards, and then it will take you right to the site. 20% of those proceeds will go back to us, which is awesome.
It's the same price whether you do it through our website or just go right to Eco Stinger. It's just that they'll give us 20% back on sales. And then I just said I'll donate that to because we're not making any money on this, but we'll donate that to the Lake Association.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. If you're interested in doing that, it would, help the Lake Association to do it that way.
Kelsey or Ron, do you know if just wearing a shirt or just wearing, not sweatpants, but any kind of covering works, or is there something special about the rash guards?
Great question. We don't know, but I'm guessing that anything that would keep the water and the worms from contacting your skin, and these are, I've found Eco Stinger is on the lower price range, and you can buy some really slick, if you go online and just type in rash guards, they make some really cool looking ones. They're like $160 for adults, I'm talking now. They're really stylish, and they're really, you know, like the yoga pants type stuff, but with all the designs, and they're really, really some cool stuff. But I don't know. That's a great question, Molly. I think my guess is that it would be helpful. Any kind of clothing would be helpful because you don't have that water right up against your skin.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say tight fitting. The tighter fitting, the better. That water can't get under would be my guess. But again, we're hoping that in 2021 we can actually test some of these things scientifically. Yeah. Other questions for me or Ron?
Ron, at one time you were suspecting it was geese that could be a culprit on a lake with a different snail. Are you still theorizing that?
Yeah. We found out last December, a week before Christmas, the DNA barcoding came back to Edmonton, to the University of Alberta, and it matched essentially 100% with the new species of the parasite. So we do know that Canada geese. Now, what we've seen on our lake, and I can't explain this, is every year now we see in the early part of the summer, we see a brood of Canada geese, and this year there were 2, and then they go. They don't make it to, I don't know where they go. They do not make it to where they get almost full grown and then fly. I don't know where they go. Every year I've seen that for the last X number of years where, hey, we got a brood of geese, and then a week later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks at the most, they're gone.
Yeah.
And there's nothing we can do because these are migratory birds that we think might be reseeding our lake, and they're all protected. We can't do anything while they're migrating. So yeah, that's why as an association, as a board, with all the other lakes in the area, people are saying we need to look at other solutions because what we thought worked, it did work. We did reduce our infection rate, but nature fills the vacuum. So other things have occurred that have populated these little worms back into the lake. And we don't have a solution to that. So we need
yeah. And you know what, as far as the geese go, Molly, so if anybody that's here later in the summer into early fall, we have a daily migration of geese from the golf course. They go up there and eat during the day, and then they fly in late at night, not late at night, but late in the evening, they fly into our lake. And I think we're getting a big transmission of parasite during that. And we have them right out in front of our place here, and there might be 50 to 100 a night.
Any other questions that we can answer for you?
Thank you, Kelsey.
Yeah, well, thanks for letting me chat for a while. And thanks to everyone for getting on. I'm so pleased by the number of people that are on the call. So thanks for taking time.
Thanks.
Thank you. I'll just ask really quickly, Steve, will we be able to post this recording on the website so we can all tell our neighbors?
Yeah, you send me the information and we'll either get it onto YouTube and a link out from that or whatever. We'll figure out something for it.
Okay,
Definitely.
very good. All right. Well, then thank you very much, Kelsey, for joining us. Thanks, Steve, for setting it up. Thanks for everyone else for joining it. I'm going to end the recording now and wish everyone a fantastic Lime Lake day.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Enjoy your day.
Thank
Thank you, Kelsey.